Welcome, one and all, to Buzzwords Comedy Bingo. I'm your host for tonight, Ian McDonald. You can find me at iMcPun and all the usual kind of socials. But yeah, this is Buzzwords Comedy Bingo. We're so glad that you're here to join in the Buzzwords Comedy Bingo. Right, the way this works is it's a show unlike any other, certainly that I've come across. Our comics are trying to avoid certain buzzwords that our audience members have been given. If they can do that, then they can win some cash money. But should they hit those buzzwords, then you guys, the plain guys at home watching these fantastic comics tonight, if they say the certain words that are on your list, then you can win grand prizes. Not prizes of a grand, but grand prizes. Again, in the way of money. And we've also got a fuck sweepstake. Now, comedians can be sort of quite fond of the word fuck. Use them in any sort of conjugation, any sort of walk of life, any sort of situation. We do like the word fuck. But the sweepstake tonight is some of our audience members have guessed how many times they think our comedians will say that word or any conjugation of that word tonight. And I have a little clicker to count them all up. The nearest guess at the end of the night to how many fucks have been said by just our comedians, not by me, because I think I've already said it about 20 times already, doesn't count for me. And also the buzzwords don't count for me. The buzzwords only count when the comedians say them. So, nearest at the end of the night, the amount of fucks wins the pot. Could that be any more clear as mud? Probably not, but hopefully it should all unfold in the fullness of time. Now we've got some hellos. Catherine Kirk. Hi, Lee. Hi, Mandy. That may be Mandy that they're talking to, which is who's saying hello as well. Well, thank you very much, all you guys, for watching, for participating, and for listening to our great comedians. But you've not come on here just to listen to me waffle on. You come on here to win some money, but also to listen to some great comedy. So, without further ado, may I introduce you to our first guest of the night, Mr. Declan Kennedy. How are we doing, man?
Not too bad. Thank you very much. That's a very rousing introduction, Ian. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Life is sweet. It's not been raining too much today. So, yeah, all is good, man. All is good. So, are you happy that you can beat these buzzwords? Are you confident you can beat these buzzwords?
I genuinely thought you were going to leave it. Are you happy there? I thought, wow, that's a profoundly philosophical way to start the evening. And how people buzzwords. That's an interesting one. I'm going to see if I can throw a few curveballs people's way and veer into see if I can veer into an unexpected one, because there'll be there'll be a couple of words there that'll be very surprised if people. But then again. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you were going to say the curveball you were going to send is that you're going to do it in French or something.
Well, no, it's not this time. I'm holding back. If I come on again, yeah.
That is one way to do it. That is one way to do it. So anyway, without further ado, Declan, can't wait to hear what you've got, man.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. What a splendid introduction, as I was saying. And you know what they say? Carry yourself with the confidence of a mediocre white guy, and here I am. So thanks very much for having me. I'm Declan Kennedy. I'm the one the Edinburgh critics raved about when they described me as affable. So you're in safe comedy hands, is what I'm saying. And I just want to start by saying, hello, it's great to be here. By which I mean I hate being human. I wish I was a kettle. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, I once saw a man hoover up a wasp, so you can't say I haven't lived. Now, just to fill you in a little bit more about myself, I am an only child, or to use the industry term, a failed prototype. And I did hear a very profound wisdom this week. Somebody said to me, before you insult a man, walk a mile in his shoes. The latest lockdown restriction. But it's also, quite a good saying in its own right. I've always liked that saying, before you insult a man, walk a mile in his shoes. But I don't know if it goes far enough. I think, why stop there? Hide in his car for a year, pretend to be his wife for a bit. If you're going to do it, go big or go home. That's what I'm saying. So it's, no doubt you're aware of my second name, Kennedy. I'm not the only famous Kennedy, of course. People are always asking themselves, do you remember where you were when President Kennedy was assassinated? And I remember exactly where I was. I had the keys in the door of my time machine, thinking, I'm sure there's something I'm supposed to prevent today, and I can't remember what. But I suppose I should really give it a big, pretty good. I've just received a message, pretty crackly, Declan, which is either a comment on my material or it's the quality of my mic. But it's not the first time I've had that review. It's not the first time I've had a review arrive while I'm performing. We tend to call them heckles in the comedy industry. I don't know if you've heard that term before, but yes, people do tend to give you what is in effect a little one-line Amazon review as you're actually doing it. I've had quite a few interesting heckles in my time. You will note that I'm quite bearded today, unlike my publicity photo. Part of the reason is I felt I was looking a bit dodgy. You know what I mean? Let's face it, it's kind of a bit suspect. Because I did have a shave just before lockdown, and me without a beard, I have to say it's the wrong moment to look like Joss Whedon and Louis C.K. So I figured a beard might take the curse off a little bit. But it's a very strange one because I'm never going to quite know how far to go with the beard. Because I have had an instance, if it gets too long, I get more heckles. I get more sort of comments from people. Somebody once heckled me. I'm sure you know what's coming now, and I'm very surprised if this isn't on the bingo comedy card. Somebody just shouted out paedophile. A nice thing to hear. I don't really like sort of joking about that, but somebody shouted paedophile, and I said, "Oh yeah, why is that?" And he went, "You've got a beard." And I said, "What? That's it? I've got a beard?" He went, "Yeah, you've got a beard. Well, all paedophiles have beards, do they?" And he said, "Yeah, all paedophiles." And I thought, well, who knew they had a dress code? But I really pushed him on this because I was really intrigued by this. I said, "What are you saying? Oh, everyone with a beard is a paedophile?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Oh yeah, Brian Blessed. Yeah, how did he keep that secret? How did he keep that? Little secret, little boy." Not now, Brian. You've told the whole housing estate. Still, I am keen to let that myth persist if it means Noel Edmonds goes to jail. But what was I talking about? I suppose, this is the year, if you're going to have any kind of breakdown or anything, 2020 is the year to be doing it in, because absolutely anything goes. 2020 with the plate, it would be twinned with Charles Manson. It's that kind of year, isn't it? It's the only year where I can read the headline, school children to be prevented from chanting political slogans in the playground, and not know if it's about Hong Kong or Droitwich. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. By the way, folks of Britain or whoever else, well, particularly folks of Britain, how does it feel to be in a nation of murderers? Yeah. In case you didn't know, we've resumed arms sales to Saudi Arabia, because that's our biggest source of income at the minute. Our only source of income in lockdown is selling arms. That and Downton Abbey, I think, are the things we're most famous for. I don't know why they don't just bring two things together. Maybe have Hugh Bonneville carry out a drone strike or something. I don't know. You didn't see that in the 2012 Olympics, did he? It's a heartwarming tale of all the arms traders, little blacksmith hammering out a daisy cutter or something. That's not something we sort of indulge in when we're talking about national pride, is it, particularly? But I tell you, there's one good thing to come out of lockdown, and I'm fairly certain lockdown is on the comedy bingo card, and that is, I don't know how people feel about this, but Christmas is cancelled. And I thought, yes, finally, a year without Christmas. I'm not fond of Christmas. I haven't really got time to go into the whys and wherefores of why I'm not a fan of Christmas. Long story short, I'm the only ginger child of a Jehovah's Witness and a trade union official, which I know sounds like it was written by Richard Curtis, but what can you do about that? But I don't celebrate Christmas growing up. I know what's going through everyone's mind now who's watching this, because there's only ever one word they want to say to me when they learn that, and I'm betting this is on the comedy bingo card. Scrooge. Instantly, Scrooge. You're a Scrooge. And it's like, well, why? It doesn't take much to make me Scrooge then, does it? It's like I literally have nothing else in common with Scrooge as a character. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a rich person. I don't own my own company. I don't go around beating up Victorian urchins much. And yet all people want to say is Scrooge. The minute you say don't Scrooge, I'm trying to think of another literary character that's co-opted in that way. Do you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't happen with any other characters. You never say to people, "Oh, I really like Huey Lewis in the news." Never go, bit of a Patrick Bateman, are you? Or I'm not keen on seafood. Oh, what about Captain Ahab? Or, I'm trying to think of another long those like, "Oh, I'm not too keen on public school kids." Oh, what a Voldemort! After a while of hearing this, many years of hearing this, I've started to get a kind of Stockholm syndrome. I've started to side with Scrooge, because he's not a nice man, but it's not his fault. The whole of Victorian society can't. It's not on his shoulders, is it? He's just one bloke. How's he supposed to change things? Once you realise that, Christmas Carol becomes a tale of a man being harassed by 3 supernatural chuggers. Kind of loses its charm. Do you know what I mean? And it's good that we sort of strayed into territory of books, because we had World Book Day not so long ago, and I always think the complaints people have about books and reading now. The first thing, kids only, well, they do well, but kids go to school dressed as Harry Potter. It's like, yeah, the only other book that's outsold it is 50 Shades of Grey. I'm not altogether sure you want your kids going to school dressed in any of that. I only ever read one line of 50 Shades of Grey, and that was, he stood proud at the entrance to her sex, which is the most functional description of intercourse I've ever heard. I don't know what the next line was. Thank you. I'm not sure which part of my set has got the response to full deck, and I'll pray for you. All of it, probably. I should probably be sitting in a confession booth rather than doing this. But it's not the. I will tell you this, Catherine Cook. It's not the only line of description of sex that I've read. But we'll get onto that in a moment. I don't know what the next line after that is. He stood proud at the entrance to her sex. Presumably, he then signed in at the reception desk of her sex and got his parking pass of her sex. But Catherine Cook, it's not the only description of sex I've read. Yes, I've read more than one. And the only other description was even worse. And that was, I won't go into the name of the book, but the description was, how can I put this? It was from the point of view of the main character's mother as he's being conceived. Just wrap your head around that. And the description was, our bitter sweat commingled as he burst within me, which is either great sex or somebody's got peritonitis. I'm not altogether sure which from that description. I don't want to blow my own trumpets, but as Britain's leading Louis Armstrong impersonator, really have no choice. Now, you will have detected by now I have something of an accent. I don't know how many people from Britain are watching, but you'll pick up it's kind of a northern accent. And it's not much of one, I will admit that. It's because I've lived in London for over a decade, and once you've been there for over a decade, you kind of get tired of people basing their entire assessment of your intellectual capability on how you pronounce the word cupboard. So I've had to sort of flatten my vowels or straighten up my vowels, whichever way around it is. But it's one of those things, I don't know how many people from America are watching, but it's kind of the north-south divide in England is reversed in that. As someone who's come to London from the north of England, I open my mouth to speak and say, hello, how are you? And what people hear is, oh, I come from Alabama, Badger on my knee. And people in London never, ever let you forget it. You know what I mean? It's like if I say I'm going to see my dad in Manchester, which isn't happening now, but if I'm going to see my dad in Manchester, I go, oh, you're going to see your dad up north, are you? You're going to see your dad up north? Oh, you're going up north, are you? Oh, flat caps, Whippet, Christopher Eccleston, salt of the earth, open cast mines. It's a really strange reaction because it's not, at no other point of origin would you do this. Not like that sort of, to say I'm going to see my dad in Berlin, he would go, oh, you're going to see Oberstubernführer, are you? So it's not, North-South divide is never going to get forgotten, is it? Anyway, I'd mentioned it earlier on as well. Not so much now, because I'm going a bit grey more than anything else, but obviously, I am a ginge, and for some people that is an insurmountable thing. I have to say, we're not really a proper minority, but if we were, we've tried reclaiming it. You've heard that saying, once you go black, you never go back. That's how minorities will reclaim the term and empower themselves. I have a very, very similar saying amongst my people, which is, once you go ginge, that's where that saying ends, because no one ever does. I'll leave you with two parting thoughts. First of all, people often say to me, Declan, it's very easy to be cynical. I say, no, I make it look easy. That takes talent. And the other thing is, I've had the reason to ask my mum not so long ago, Mum, was I mistaken? She said, not at first. With that in mind, thank you very much. I hand you back to Ian. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Declan. At times, I think it was a bit C3PO-ish. I'm sure he absolutely loved the set. Absolutely loved what I heard. It was a little bit sort of in and out, but yeah, I really enjoyed that, man. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you. Oh, that was I got the message pretty crackly, and I was going on the mic rather than this. My beard was not providing static.
You know, when you were saying that people heckling you, and you were saying about Louis C.K. and things like that, I was thinking more, to be honest, James Cosmo. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
The guy that's the Lord of the Scottish actor, the Lord of the Night's Watch from Game of Thrones.
Oh, I'll have to look this up. Let's keep an ear out for that one on when I get to
Google it.
Yeah. If there's any mileage.
Google it.
There we go. But thank you very much. Thank you. There we go.
Oh, we've got another little heckle there if you want.
This is.
So you always get feedback on the buzzword.
That's it. That's exactly correct. Well, the thing is, Catherine, what you don't know is that being ginger, northern, and all my obvious setbacks means Arts Council funding for Ian for this gig. So, actually, it's to our credit that I'm on there. So he's doing his bit, for
Doing my bit, yeah. So, Declan, you managed to say 0 fucks towards the fuck counter.
Indeed, I did.
I certainly didn't pick up on any. So, very clean set. Sort of start us off for the night.
Lovely.
Could it get worse? Could it get better? Who knows? But the amount of buzzwords that you actually managed to say was 6 of them.
Oh wow! Really, that many? My goodness me!
Yeah, and a couple of them you did sort of pick up on yourself. So I don't know, maybe a little hint for future acts. But yes, 6 of those buzzwords are the ones that you hit.
Oh my goodness!
And at the end of the night, I'll be going over the list of the buzzwords that everyone said during the night.
Indeed.
But yeah, Declan, thank you very much for coming on.
That's my pleasure.
Thoroughly enjoyed your set through a dodgy broadband connection or whatever it was, but we certainly got enough of it to enjoy it.
That's
anyway,
very good.
Without a doubt.
Indeed. While I'm here, can I plug? If you did enjoy that, a slightly different thing, but I have a podcast called Singularities, which is only 3 episodes long, but short but sweet. And if you didn't enjoy it, then recommend Singularities to an enemy. It really ruined their day. So win-win, I think, for that.
Okay, nice one. And we can catch you at Declan or _Declan Kennedy.
At _Declan Kennedy. And the name of the Twitter account is The Solids of Quantum, because I'm nothing if not pretentious. So if you're following me, then find me on Twitter. Thank you.
Okay, nice one. Thank you very much, Declan Kennedy. Our first act of the night. 6 buzzwords, he said, from our big buzzword sheet. A lot of you have got your individual 10 buzzwords. As soon as you have got 3, 5, or 10 of the buzzwords on your single sheet, message the stream. We'll check them after that comedian has finished their set. And hey, maybe win you some money. I think a couple of the buzzwords from our audience's sheet have already been ticked off. So you're going for those first 3 people, first 3 to win you a £5. Then we go up to a tenner, and then it's £25 at the end of the night if you get the 10 buzzwords. But are we ready for our next act? Is he drinking his Mad Dog? Who knows? But let's welcome Mr. Jamie Kirk. How are we doing?
No bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. But more importantly, how's your internet connection?
You tell me.
It's seeming all right just now.
You hear me?
It's seeming all right just now.
Can you see me?
What?
Can you see? Fuck's sake.
Oh, that old banter, eh? That old banter.
Quality.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this on a Tuesday night. I'll just move this mic so you can see me. Oh, all the old ones are the best, eh? But yeah, Jamie, lovely to see you again. I'm looking forward to see what you can do on the buzzwords. Confident you're going to beat those buzzwords?
I don't have a clue what's a buzzword. I'm just here to have a wee practice of some jokes, old, new, and let's see what happens. Let's see if we get a buzzword. Let's try and win some money.
Let's try and win some money for the people that have been playing. Absolutely.
For the people.
So, Jamie, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Hello. 2020. Hey, 2020. It's been quite problematic. I know it's thrown up a couple of issues in this house. 2020. I'll be honest with you, I'll be glad to just see the back of it. Never speak about it again. It's been quite, but then again, I love it. A wee bit of 2020. Do you know what I mean? On Tuesday night, you can't help. I'm sorry. Any excuse. That joke cannot be done again. Anyway, it's 2020. Yeah, it's actually 2020. Sorry, I don't know why I've done that. I'm Jamie. I'm for the West End. Sounds good saying I'm for the West End. But it's the West End of Paisley. It's West End of Paisley. So it's good to be here. It's good to. But let's try something. There's 52 cards in a packet of cards. Let's try it. Think of a card. Are you thinking of a card? Is it black? No, it's a 7 of hearts, isn't it? Wait, hey, if it wasn't, I don't know. If it wasn't black, it might have been the ace of spades. But anyway, I don't know what happened there. I'd have thought Was it the Seven of Hearts? Were you thinking of the Seven of Hearts? Right, okay. Is that comedy? Is that magic? Anyway, I'm from the West End, right? I've said that. I live with my 3 flatmates. So we've been in lockdown together, 3 flatmates. Or my girlfriend and my 2 kids. That's how I'm better known as. I've got 2 kids. My daughter, she's 8, and my son, he's 2. Like, my son is called Tommy. Right, what's that? What's that short for? Right, I know I can't hear you. Right, what's that? What people are saying, Thomas. Right, but that's wrong. That'd be wrong. My son's called Tommy, which is short for a vasectomy. That's to remind me what's happening next. I need to get a vasectomy. I'll come clean. I'll tell you the truth. I need to have a vasectomy for health reasons. Because unfortunately, if I have any more kids, I'm going to kill myself. No, I'm joking. I love my kids. But anyway, so lockdown. We've been in lockdown. Starting a lockdown for us. Our first concern was the library. It was shut. The library's shut. We've got a book that's meant to go back to the library, and we're saving up for a house. Right, we're trying to get a deposit together, trying to buy a house, and we were starting to panic whether this book not going back to the library might affect our credit rating. Now the crowd are going wild. Sorry. Anyway, coming out of lockdown, and football started coming back. So I said to my girlfriend, I said, right, that's football coming back, but it's behind closed doors. It's behind closed doors to start off with. And she said, well, how are they going to do that? And I said, well, we'll just not let anyone in. And she was like, oh. And I was like, hang on a minute. What did you think? What did you think they were going to do when I said behind closed doors? And she said, well, I thought maybe like a sports hall or a gym hall. Can you imagine that? The old firm game, they're running about, there's trainers squeaking about. Anyway, that is lockdown comedy. Just recently, I was in a shop, right? My daughter's called Jen. That's short for genuine mistake. That's a joke, right? She's not even called Jen. That's a joke. Usually goes well. I don't know how well it's going, but recently, before lockdown, I'd done it, and somebody was like, "That is fucking tragic." I was like, "Listen, it's a joke. She's not even called Jen or Jennifer. It's just poorly written comedy." So me and Jane were in a shop, and I was trying to buy a T-shirt. Right, I found this T-shirt, and I thought, right, I really like this T-shirt. I'm going to buy this T-shirt. I picked it up, looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, Jen, I've not got this T-shirt in my size." Do you know what she said to me? She said, well, why don't you get the bigger size? Why don't you get the age 30 to 31 and grow in it? That's kids for you. They just soak up information, don't they? And just release it. So anyway, let's tell you a bit more. I hope he's enjoying this. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this for 7 or 8 months. I'll tell you a bit more about me. I'm a bus driver, which is surprising because I've arrived on time, right? This is me on stage, right? Anyway, so let's tell some bus stories, right? I was driving about, and this older woman got on the bus, right? This older woman got on the bus, and as she gets on, she goes like, she gives me a wee wink, right? She gets on the bus, she gives me a wee wink, right? She's not on the bus for long, they never are, and she's getting off. As she's getting off the bus, she says to me, "Oh, driver, the things I would do to you if I was 60 years younger." 60 years younger. She must have been in her late 70s, and she's saying this to me. The thing is, I've seen her bus pass. She's 71. What the fuck was she doing at 11? That's Springburn for you. The best thing about being a bus driver is people getting off the bus and giving you gifts. I don't mean like presents, like chocolate bars, cans of juice, packets of crisps, newspapers. People just go off the bus, go, "There you go, driver." This one day, this woman was getting off, and as she got off, she handed me something in. It was wrapped up in kitchen roll. She goes, "There you go, driver, a wee treat for you." And I was delighted. It was a busy route. I had no time to check. Put it aside. "No, thanks very much." I thought maybe she made a cake or something. Put it aside till I got to the terminus, right? As I got to the terminus, jumped out of the cab. I opened it up, right, thinking, could this be tablet? I opened it up, and it was a poached egg. Is that a buzzword? I don't know. Who the fuck gives a bus driver a poached egg? Right, I didn't eat it. Speaking of tablet, there's a tablet behind me, that's why I've got a tablet. I once seen, this is going off route, I once seen Buckfast tablet, right? Bucky tablet, fuck's sake. And it was a fiver a slab. I thought, right, I'll take 2 bits. And I thought, no, 2 bits, 10 just give me the bottle, just give me the bottle, that'll do me. So things, driving buses are lost. People get off the bus, lost property, right? People leave things on the bus. One time I was driving, got to a terminus, jumped out, and there was a bag. There was like a bag sitting at the metro stand, not like a sports sack. A sports, what the fuck's a sports sack? That can't be a buzzword. A rucksack, a school bag, right? And it was sitting. Anyway, I opened it up. No, I never opened it up first, right? I grabbed it and I thought, I'm going to find this behind my seat, lost property, right? But when I picked it up, it was heavy, very, very heavy. And I was like, I need to take a look at this. Opened it up, right? Inside it was one of those blue bags for the off sales tied up, right? Untied that, opened it up, and there was another clear bag, big, huge clear bag filled with water and a live goldfish. True story. Someone who's leaving a goldfish on the bus, right? So I phoned up. I was like, somebody's left a goldfish on the bus. All right, lost property. Lost property. I've seen what happens to lost property. Right, it could get destroyed. I was thinking, I'm going to take this up the road. I'm going to be a father of the year. We've got a new goldfish way. But anyway, they messaged me back saying, can the driver with the goldfish contact control? So I phoned up. Right, guys coming to get it en route. Look out for him. Seen the guy, but this is about 3.5 hours later. I seen the guy. He went, oh, I left my sports sack on the bus, and I'm like, what was in it? He's like, I just left a bag on the bus. Have you got it? I was like, what was in it? What was in it? He's like, a goldfish. I was like, how the f do you leave? How the fuck? Sorry, there's a fuck for you. How the f do you leave a goldfish on a bus? How do you do that? I said that to him. He said, well, I thought my wife had it, and she thought he had it. And I was like, fair enough. I've done that myself with my daughter, so I can understand his predicament. So that's buses. Let's start another day I can go to work. The other day I come home to work. My daughter came running upstairs, giving me a big cuddle, and I said, oh, do you know what I hate doing every day? I hate going to work and leaving you. Do you know what she said to me? If you die, you don't have to. If you die, you don't have to. Honestly, what the heck? It's her birthday. It's her birthday coming up soon. I said to her, have you thought about what you're wanting for your birthday? And I remember I was going up for my year, I just wanted an action man. I said to her, have you thought about what you're wanting for your birthday? And she said, the only thing I could think of is better Wi-Fi. That's what she wants, that's what she's getting. 9 minutes, right, let's quickly. The other day at school, we're doing a health week recently, health week in school. Naturally, come Wednesday, I said, right, we're going to McDonald's. What do you want from McDonald's? She's like, oh, it's health week. I was like, shut up, what do you want from McDonald's? She's getting her chicken nuggets. And I said, right, what do you want? And she said, chocolate milkshake. No. It's health week. Strawberry milkshake. I said, no, that's not even much healthier, that's just flavour. See what you done there though about that. And she's like, oh, why is it so hard trying to be healthy every day? I said, well, if you die, you don't have to. Before I go, that's maybe, if you want to see more of me, if you've enjoyed listening to me, I don't know if anybody's watching, if you've enjoyed listening to me and want to see more of me, I'll be on the number 3 bus all day tomorrow. Thank you. No, I'm off tomorrow. I've got the 2020. But I'm playing Hangman. I play Hangman in lockdown. Can you see that tonight? I've been playing Hangman. Tonight is episode 160. Come and see it at 9:30. Follow the links. I don't know, is there a link? Facebook.com. Jamie Kirk 29. I'll see you there. I'm going to enjoy this dog.
Well done, Jamie, man. Oh, absolutely loved that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely loved that. Lee as well, he loved that. Well, she saw it. Well done, Jamie. Poached egg must be a buzzword. Was it a buzzword? No, it wasn't a buzzword. But I don't know. How many times does poached egg come up in a comedy set? Only for Jamie Kirk.
Oh, brilliant.
Only for the West, only for Southside Depot's finest.
I'm at Scotland.
Scott Street.
Shh, doesn't matter when I'm at
That
Southside.
doesn't matter.
See Southside. Do you know there's a chippy in East End called Eat Well? Anyway, how you doing, Ian?
No bad, no bad. Give that Tam Keenan a poached egg
Who?
next time you see him.
Do you know him?
Thomas Keenan. It's my brother-in-law, mate.
Who? Say his name again.
Thomas Keenan.
Ah, is that your brother-in-law? Oh,
Is
right,
indeed.
okay.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Mandy's come across as well. Nice one, Jamie.
Cheers, man.
Yeah,
She's playing
absolutely love
Hangman
that.
half 9.
So Hangman 9:30, where is it that you watch that?
Facebook, facebook.com/Jamie Kirk 29.
Nice one. And if you get links in your Twitter, is that Jamie Kirk 29 as well?
Aye, there's a link there. If you're on Twitter, Jamie Kirk 29. Follow the link to Facebook. 9:30 tonight. Well, don't normally do it on Tuesday. It's usually Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. But tonight, since I'm doing a gig, double trouble, 2 for Tuesday.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah. Keep the adrenaline rolling.
What can go wrong? Will go wrong.
What can go wrong, indeed? Yeah.
Yes.
A bottle of the good stuff, and
Yes.
yeah, Hangman will be interesting tonight.
Let's do it.
Okay, you managed to say a grand amount of 7
That's pretty.
fucks during that set.
Oh, fuck's sake.
7 fucks during that set, and 5 of the buzzwords as well.
Brilliant. I'm happy with that.
I think about half of them came within your last sort of minute and a half, though.
Oh, right.
But yeah, a lot of them came. And again, I'll be going over all of the buzzwords that are said by all of our comedians tonight at the end of the show. But yeah, Jamie, thank you very much for coming on Buzzwords, and I hope Hangman goes well.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Next one, catch you soon, man. Right, so that is us, Declan Kennedy and Jamie Kirk down. We've had a grand total, if I can remember them, is it 11, 12, I don't know, something like that, buzzwords. We've not had anyone message the stream yet, so we're assuming that no one's hit 3 buzzwords, but I do know that a few of them have been said on the lists that people have. So obviously enjoy the comedy, keep a little mind on the words that are being said as well. I'll take care of the fucks, don't worry about that. But you take care of enjoying the comedy and ticking off those words as you get them. So, without further ado, shall we get our next act on the line? It's George Wagner. How are we doing, George?
How you doing?
Right, I'm not quite placing your accent. Is that from the east coast of Scotland, or is it more sort of Midlothian?
How about Ohio?
Ohio, all the way from the US of America. We are very, very honoured to have you on, as we are, everyone. Because as we say, it's a global comedy community now. It's a global comedy community. We're getting to know each other's stuff, getting to know each other's styles. But yeah, how are we doing in South? Oh, I forgot which Carolina it
North.
is. It's North, isn't
North
it?
Carolina.
I was going to say South there.
North Carolina.
Would that have been educate me, would that have been a huge faux pas if I'd said South as opposed to North Carolina?
If I was born and raised here, probably, but I'm from Ohio originally, so no.
You're from, okay, so yeah, it's potato for yourself. Yeah. Someone said, "Oh, you're all the way from England, are you, Ian?" No, I'm not. But yeah. So George, I'm really looking forward to seeing your set tonight. You confident you can beat the buzzwords?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, we've had 7 and 5 so far. Catherine's saying, "My God, we need a translation." Trust me, that's for me. But yeah, George, take it away.
The Bible tells us that man was created in God's image. Why? Why does God have such a small penis? I have seen the light. It is a bright light. I have heard the booming voice as it says unto me, "Get out of the car and put your clothes on." Now, if God is always watching us, does that make us God's Pornhub? Like missionary. Oh, that's good. Turn her over. People always back off of religious humor. They think it's blasphemous, but God has a sense of humor. If God didn't have a sense of humor, then why does the beer belly create the butt crack? Why are toddlers about waist high and always lean head first when they come in for those hugs? Ow. They say God will not give you more than you can handle. I wish he'd stop testing me. But the religious institutions have really embraced technology. When I called my church the other day, automated system came on. It said, for impure thoughts, press 1. For harm to self or others, press 2. For sexual deviancy, please leave a detailed voice message. Saw a billboard that said, after you die, you will meet God. I did not know that God visited hell. I saw this sign the other day. It said, Vacation Bible School. And I racked my brain trying to figure out what is the difference between the Vacation Bible and the regular Bible. Are we talking Noah doing water skiing off of the back of the ark? Jonah taking people out on fishing expeditions? Jesus bringing bagels and lox to the picnic, figuring he'll take a dip afterwards, but he can't get wet. When Jesus was a toddler, do you think they tried to give him swimming lessons? Did his friends try to get him to take that rope swing into the river? And as a teenager, you know he had to get a little cocky, turn that water into wine while he was still walking on it, and nearly drown. But I do like signs. If you've ever seen a deer crossing sign, they put those up when there's been an incident where somebody has hit a deer, which really makes me wonder, what shit went down at that tractor crossing sign? I was in a parking garage, and the door in the stairwell said, this door must be closed at all times. I was stuck there for hours. Saw a place that had a sign that said custom framing. Had to check it out. I went in. Their frames were nearly perfect. The detail that they went to on these frames was just unbelievable. By the time I walked out, my boss was doing 20 years for a crime he did not commit. But I am a father of 2 daughters, and it's not a dream situation. What I mean by that is, it's not the dream I had when I was younger of being surrounded by women. No, it's not the same at all. I mean, the cat is female, and even it ignores me. But as comedians, we pull a lot of humor from our childhood, that trauma that is our parents. And my parents were just awful for comedic value. They were nice. They brought me up to be nice. I mean, my mother bought me an insurance policy, for Pete's sake. But I think that was so she could say, I brought you into this world. I can take you out of this world. I'm just going to make a little money on the deal. I remember when my parents, I came home and I found out they had moved, which really wouldn't have been a problem, except I actually lived with them at the time, and I didn't move with them. Such is life. But comedy is made up of bald jokes, racial insensitivity, family dysfunction, what I did when I drank too much, when I smoked weed, or took this drug. And the thing is, I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Full head and I'm white. So what the heck do I have to complain about? Now, when I say I'm white, if the lights went out, they put me by the door so you could find your way out. If I walked up to you and I did the fist bump with the explosion, at that moment, it would stop being cool. I was a successful rapper. I had them lining up to see me. Of course, that involved a table at the mall around Christmas time. I did get the opportunity to see a rap video being made. A friend of mine was a promoter. We arrived around 2 a.m. at this empty warehouse. I was dressed like I am now, dress shirt, dress pants. Got out of the car. The artist walks up to my promoter friend and says, "Hey, who's the narc?" Think about it for a minute. How bad of a narc would I have to be dressed like this? Really? But I also had to live with the image of the nice guy. I was kind of cursed with that. If I had a party, I'm the guy that would watch you drink if you went to the bathroom, or if somebody had a little too much to drink, I'd take them home to their home. So when I was at this event, and this girl I kind of knew got up, took her 2 drinks, and walked to the bathroom, I'm thinking to myself, does she think she's going to be in there so long that she's going to get dehydrated? Nah, she's just being safe. But then it hit me. She thinks I could be a bad boy. And I was looking up. I am getting older, though, and I can tell that by my mail. AARP keeps sending me crap. And I'm not talking about the traditional junk mail. I'm talking 4-color, glossy, see honest like ads. Thanks, guys. Then the hearing aid companies send me stuff. So I can't hear and I can't get it up. Then you have senior living. I'm feeble too. More recently, the crematorium. Guys, I'm not old enough that I need to wear Depends. I'm just lazy. But things have changed a lot over the years. I remember when I was younger, I could hear my internet connection. And porn has changed so much. It would take me hours to download porn. And trust me, was never worth the wait. Now you've got instant streaming, you've got channels, you've got categories, you've got a recommendation list for your porn. But then someone sits down at your computer. You get that tightness in the pit of your stomach, that fear. It's not that they're going to see your porn history. They're going to mess up your recommendation list. Who keeps watching anime porn on my computer? But technology has advanced, and now with things like Google Voice and Alexa and Siri, it's nice because I'm no longer the only one with a disembodied voice telling me things to do. What's that? Yes, I think that joke should have gotten a bigger laugh too. I don't think we need to kill them. Well, hey, Anya, let me ask. Does anybody have an axe I can borrow? A machete will work just as well. So I was driving the other day. The car in front of me, the light above the license plate was flickering. So I'm thinking to myself, faulty bulb? Or is there somebody in the trunk trying to send me a Morse code message? I wish I knew Morse code. Not as much as he wishes I knew Morse code. But as I was driving, I let this guy in. And when you let somebody in, what do you want? You want the wave, right? Just some appreciation for doing something nice. Well, I did not get the wave. So I pull up next to him. I look over. Still, no wave. So I put him into the wall. I put him into the wall hard because if you don't teach them, they will never learn. And you know what? He was learning. He was waving. It was the one finger wave, but it's a start. And of course, I went to the drive-thru. They messed up my order. So I went back, got a new sandwich, fries were cold, got new fries. As I'm driving away, grab a couple fries, toss them in my mouth. I feel something. A long hair. Disgusting. Unclean, unsanitary. I'm definitely not going back there, but this left me physically shaken. So I just went straight to my girlfriend's and ate her ass. Regretfully, I had to break up with her. I found a French fry. That is my time. Geo Wagner. You've been a great audience. Thanks.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much for that. I really enjoyed that, man. We have had a claim of bingo on from one of our audience members. Now, I just have to check with yourself. Did you mention Uber in your set?
Uber?
Yeah.
No.
No, I didn't think you did.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Mandy. We're going to have to roll that one over. Maybe it's a bit of a clue for one of our next people to either say or not say. But I didn't think that you'd mentioned Uber. But yeah, anyway. But we're still looking for the first three words to come in for our buzzwords. But yeah, thank you very much, George. You said 0 fucks. So it's a very low fuck count, but someone will still win the money. We've had a total of 5 fucks from yourself. So that was quite impressive. No, sorry, it's 5 buzzwords from yourself. 0 fucks, which was impressive. But yeah, absolutely loved that set, man. Some really good lines in it. Some really good lines. Really enjoyed it. Where else can sort of people find you? Have you anything else coming up?
Actually, this Friday, I'm producing a comedy show called Quarantine Comedy. Button Down Comedy, you can see on the screen there is Facebook and Instagram, and we have information posted there. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is New York time. So I don't know what that time that is for you. It might be a little late, but if you're up and around, log in. It's a free show, so please come enjoy it.
It's probably about 2 a.m. for us. But I'm guessing that you'll be able to sort of see kind of repeats of it. It will stay on the streams, things like that.
On the Facebook page, you'll see some of the previous shows are there.
Okay, great. We'll check that out. I'll certainly be doing that a little bit later on, seeing some more of that stuff, see what you're all about. Thank you very much for coming on, George, and we'll hope to see you again soon.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Cheers, man. Yeah, Mandy thought that she'd had the buzzwords. She thought she'd beat the buzzwords. There was a couple there. There was another one that I don't think that he said. I'll need to go back and check it. But I didn't want to give too many clues to our next comedian, so he could just sort of file them out. Right, audience get the money. But that would put himself in detriment because he wouldn't be getting the money that he may get for not saying the buzzwords. So it's oomdy-doo, da. Catch-22 and all that, isn't it, Leon?
It is.
Unless you just weren't listening to me there and you've no idea what
I think I picked it up somewhere. Who knows if it'll turn up in my set. Keep it edgy, eh?
Who knows? Keep us on the edge of our seats without a doubt, man. So how are you doing this evening, Leon?
Good. Nice and relaxed. Glad to be headlining.
Headliners usually do double the amount of time that other people have done and automatically get paid.
Yeah, no, maybe not.
Either of which.
Headlining.
You're on last. You're on last in an online show during semi-lockdown.
I'm an optimist. That's what it is. You see, I'm on the bright side.
Yeah, as long as when you've put that you've headlined on your posters, you say where it is.
Yeah.
Quid pro quo, bit of advertising, stuff like that.
Headline, the fabulous.
So, are you confident you're going to beat the buzzwords then?
Who knows? I don't know. It's my stuff's a bit different, maybe. I suppose. But who knows? There's still things in there that I'm sure are probably buzzwords.
Yeah, well, we'll find within the next 10 minutes whether you have managed to beat the buzzwords. Looking forward to it, Leon.
Cool. Right then, so as mentioned, I'm Leon Bukowski. It's weird. I feel like I don't really ever fit in. I always feel like I stand out. Sometimes I'm a bit something different. For example, I've got an inferiority complex, but I'm not sure if it's as good as everybody else's. I can't even fit in with technology. I go to other people's houses. Other people have these Netflix, and it says things like, "Are you still watching Cobra Kai? Are you still watching Umbrella Academy?" My Netflix, when it comes on, it says, "Are you still watching Only Fools and Horses?" It's 2020, for God's sake. Someone told me while watching Netflix, they said, "This is a good idea," or Disney Plus said, "What you got to do, when you watch an animated movie, like Pixar movies, get the toys from the movie all around you, because it makes a better atmosphere." So last night, what I did, I watched Toy Story with a Woody. I was shocked. I didn't think Toy Story 2 would turn me on that much. But it's weird because I try and lose weight as well to fit in. But I'm what Weight Watchers call a full refund. My wife measured my weight and said I am 1 Greg's pasty away from obesity, which is bad. I try to get fit. I have a Fitbit. Other people's Fitbit set them challenges like walk 1,000 steps a day. My Fitbit challenge set me challenges like walk past the cake shop, don't go in. But I can never get it right, especially with my wife. You know, she's told me when we first met, she said, listen, I'm really, really into bondage. So what I did is I tried to sell her into slavery. She said, no, not that kind of bondage. I told you to get that book, 50 Shades of Grey, as a guide. I said, I wasn't listening. What I've done is I bought that book, 50 Years a Slave. Even in school, I didn't fit in. I was sent to the school counselor to give me some advice, just to help me out, help me settle in. She sat me down. She was lovely woman, really kind, caring. She sat me down. She softly said to me, she said, listen, life is like a box of chocolates. So I knew this. This was from Forrest Gump. I knew this. And I said, yeah, I know this. You know, it was the 90s. She said, yeah, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. She went, no. Life is like a box of chocolates. No one likes the ginger ones. Which was weird, because she was a redhead as well. So I said, hey, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. She said, people in stone houses shouldn't throw glass. What's your point? I said, people in glass houses shouldn't throw orgies. But it's strange. I mean, it's talking about buzzwords. Up here in Liverpool just today, we've been announcing the new tighter lockdown rules. So now we've got the tighter lockdown rules. Things are getting worse. For example, strip clubs and adult shops are closing. A local official said things were hard before, but now, because of COVID-19, even in America, things are getting bad. For example, the 7-Eleven stores are opening 2 hours later, and they're changing the name accordingly. I think it'll be a disaster. I want to show you something that illustrates why I think I don't fit in. Most of the people I speak to think this is a completely normal thing, but I just don't understand it. Okay, so this is what I see. I find this sign very, very strange. Other people I speak to can see nothing wrong with it. I think I can't understand this sign. I don't understand who it's for. I mean, not all of it. I understand this bit, no dogs. Okay, I'm happy with that bit, no dogs. What I don't understand is this bit, the caveat, except guide dogs. Because who has guide dogs? Blind people. How many blind people read signs? If a person comes into the shop with a guide dog, stops, looks at the sign, goes, oh, no dogs, but wait, oh, except guide dogs, we're okay. Something's fishy. Either he stole the guide dog or he's on the fiddle from the DSSS. Doesn't matter what you write for signs for blind people, they can't read it. You could write whatever you like on a sign. You could write fuck off all blind people. It wouldn't matter. They can't read the sign. They won't be offended. Maybe, this is what I'm still thinking now. So if it's not for blind people, maybe you're saying to me, maybe he's got a guide dog. Maybe he's not fully blind. Maybe he just can't see very well. Okay? Some people have said that to me. So well, maybe they can't see very well. Okay, then. You can't see very well. Why is this bit smaller than this bit? This bit's for the people that can see. This bit's for the blind people or the people that can't see very well. Make that bigger. If it's not for blind people, who's the sign for? Must be then for people like butchers. That's where you find these signs a lot. You see them in butchers. Maybe in the 80s, you had these psychotic butchers grabbing Labradors and throwing them out the shop. Woof! Maybe Labrador-related head injuries were a huge problem in the 80s. Maybe butchers were screaming out of the doors, I don't care if you are Stevie Wonder, your dog's not coming in. Maybe that's why guide dogs have got those handles on them, to help them swing them round and throw them out the door. Oof. My God, someone needs to make a sign to stop that happening. I used to think the big plastic guide dogs with the slit in the head outside the shops for collecting money, but maybe they're memorials to all the guide dogs that have been thrown into traffic. If the sign's not for blind people or for butchers, who is it for? The only other people it could be for, maybe, is it's for the dogs. These guide dogs are very, very clever, very well trained. Maybe the guide dog's been trained to read signs. The guide dog comes in and goes, yeah, here we go, into the butchers. I don't know why, but for me, Labradors always have a slightly effeminate German accent. Yeah, let's go in here. Come, we go in. We get the breakfast. We get some meat for our tea. Hold on, wait. There's a sign. It says no dogs. Oh, we can't go in. We must go home now. Oh, hold on. There underneath is a caveat, except guide dogs. We are okay. Let's go in. Yeah, this is good. On the way out, all the other dogs are looking. They'd love to go in a butcher's shop and see all the meat. The little Labrador guide dog walks past, just waves and goes, "Oh yeah, auf Wiedersehen, pets." What about this sign then? This other sign, this one, it confuses me even more, and it's everywhere. Okay, no parking except for loading and unloading only. This again confuses me. Why are people parking if they're not loading or unloading? Even if they're loading or unloading themselves. If you get out of the car, you've unloaded the car. If somebody gets into your car, you've loaded the car. So basically, there is no other reason to park. Are people going along driving, parking, not getting out, nobody's getting in, not taking anything out, not picking any shopping up, and just sitting in the car? Does this happen a lot? Parked. I've never seen it. If this is a big, does it need a whole sign for this? Is this an epidemic of people just sitting in cars, parked, but not getting in or out, nobody getting in and out, and not picking or dropping anything off? Crazy. I was at the hospital at the weekend and I saw two signs. Okay, another sign. Again, these ones were actually quite good because I saw two signs on the ceiling. One said gynecology advice. Next to it said stroke center. And I thought, yeah, that's good advice. But one of the weirdest signs I saw was in Saudi Arabia. So I've been all around the world, and there's only two reasons really to go to Saudi Arabia: Islam or is skint. I'm not a Muslim, so you can probably figure out why I went. But it's strange. I mean, normally I only think about religion when someone knocks on my door. For example, a guy came to my door, knocked on the door and said, "Have you found Jesus?" And I said, "I didn't know he was lost." I said, "Where's the last place you saw him?" And to try and help out, I said, "The last place I saw him was in a church, 10 foot high, nailed to a cross. If I was you, I'd check there. I'm sure he's still there. It's pretty hard to get off that." But anyway, talking about signs, in Saudi Arabia had this sign. This is true. You can look it up online. There's a sign that tells you about Muslim roads that only Muslims can drive on. And I always wondered, how does the road know you're not a Muslim? If you're driving a car, how does the road know you're not a Muslim? The only way it could tell you're not a Muslim is if you're driving along, singing a hymn, drinking a beer, and licking a pig. It's insane, but these are real signs they have in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, so I was working in this really posh grammar school in Saudi Arabia. And you have this boss, you can't get along, we just couldn't get along with your boss. And he was this head of security, and he was in charge of this anti-terrorist lockdown drill we did. When the bell rang, it meant hide in the classroom, hide under the tables and chairs, lock the door, because the terrorists with their AK-47 and explosives were inside the school compound, killing people. So it was very serious. So one day the terrorist alarm goes off. I don't know if it's real or a drill. I lock the door, get all the kids under the table, feet sticking out. I hear someone moving in the corridor. They try the door handle. Then knock, knock, knock. And I went, "Who is it?" They went, "A terrorist, here to kill you." I opened the door. It was the head of security. He said, "What kind of idiot opens the door to a potential terrorist?" I went, "What kind of terrorist knocks?" He said, "Keeping the door locked keeps you safe." I said, "Safe from a terrorist and with AK-47 Semtex." I said, "What do you think this door is made out of? Magic?" I said, "What do you think is going to happen?" He's a fully armed terrorist who's been training camp in Pakistan for 3 months, sneaks into the country, comes into the compound, kills the armed guards, climbs over the 8-foot wall, through the barbed wire, gets up to this flimsy plywood door, tries the handle and goes, "Fuck it, it's locked, I'll give up." "I did lock the door. Come on, we didn't think of that, we better go home." I said to myself, "I see stronger doors than this on tents." He said, "You can lean on the door, stop them getting in." I said, "What do you think? This is like Game of Thrones. You look like Hodor. Hold the door, hold the door, hold it." One of the students, when I did this, the class clown, jumps out from under the table, pretends to be in a wheelchair, rolls his eye back and goes, "I'm a seagull, I'm a seagull." I said, "Pack it in." "The door's locked so you can hide." I said, "Hide? The glass window in this door." What does this world's politest terrorist think when he looks through the window? "Hey, look, a crazy table with wooden legs and real feet." Anyway, that's about my time. I'm just going to have to go and get my Uber now and finish there. Thank you very much for having us. Host.
So that's another one then on your buzzwords list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were listening, paying attention, good stuff. I'm just looking for confirmation from George as to whether one of the other words were said, but yeah, that was great, Leon, man. Some great little observations there.
Cheers.
Yeah, I won't be looking at signs in the same way again. Certainly not. But yeah, you managed to see, I think it was a couple of fucks, and it ended up being 8 of the buzzwords right at the end of the night. No, I don't think he did. But yes, so did you enjoy that, Leon?
Fantastic. Yeah, that was good fun. That was good fun. I didn't know whether to go for buzzwords, not go for buzzwords, or just see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah,
This stuff's not really
it's a night. That's it, man. It's a night of comedy. It's just having a bit of good fun. But right, let's have a look. I think we may have a winner actually on the buzzwords. Let's just have a little look at my spreadsheet. So we've got one. That's been said. That's been said. Woke hasn't been said, Mandy. So if Mandy Glencross reckons that she's got bingo, if you could quickly message the stream or myself with the 3 words that you think you've got, then I'll sort of cross-reference that. I mean, you've certainly got Uber, as provided by our lovely Leon. You've certainly got lockdown as one of the words.
Yeah.
Certainly Uber and woke were not said. I think it was George that you thought had said them. But yeah, messages, Mandy, with the words that you think had been said. And we'll sort of double check that. But certainly Mandy is the winner of tonight's fuck spreadsheet. I was going to say fuck sweepstake. She had the correct guess of 8 fucks when in fact 9 had been said. So she's the nearest. So she will win the marvellous pot of £3. That's all the people that have been playing. Or is it £2 actually? I don't know. I think it's £2 actually. But we're going to check. Right, Mandy has said Uber and lockdown. Right. Need 3 words, Mandy. If you could send us the 3rd word in. Teresh is saying hey. Well, we're pretty much saying goodbye. Yeah, unfortunately, Mandy, Uber hasn't been said, I don't think. I'll have to go back and sort of check that one. If you can remember who it was that you said it.
I said Uber in Game of Thrones.
You said you certainly did say Uber in Game of Thrones. I'm going to go over all of the words just now. In fact, to bring everyone else in because you've all been absolutely fantastic. Hello, everyone. Right, the words that have been said tonight were, and you can check your lists as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've got a million things going on at once. But the words that I caught were Christmas, bingo, paedophile, London, Buckfast, lockdown, Wi-Fi, McDonald's, Pornhub, church, cat, junk mail. Now we'll get on to Leon's list. Chocolate, Netflix, ginger, dogs, Muslim, terrorist, Game of Thrones, and Uber. So that is a complete collection of 20 buzzwords that were said tonight in between the 4 of you, which was mightily impressive. Teresh has already said hey, and now he's saying but hey, spread the word of UK buzzwords if you'd like the 2.5 minutes that you've seen Teresh. Yeah, if Mandy can get in contact with us to see who that she's thought had said Uber, then I'll certainly check that one out. But yeah, is there anything else anyone wants to plug or anything like that before we all say goodnight and get rid of this terrible echo that's in our ear? That'll be a no then. So, that was buzzwords for tonight. As I say, Mandy, I'll have a look back at it. I mean, I'm not going to bump anyone. If I can find that Uber had been said, I'll certainly send you that, the £5. I'll certainly send you the £2 that you've won from the sweepstake because you got closest to the end of the night. The amount of fucks that had been said. Just remains for me to say thank you very much to Declan Kennedy, Jamie Kirk, George Wagner, and Liam Bukowski. Hopefully we've had a fun night. If you've liked it, then get back in touch with us again. In a couple of weeks, we'll be having another Buzzwords, another chance for you guys to win some money. Uber from Leon. Yeah, I'll get in contact with you again, Mandy, and we'll sort this one out. You'll certainly get some money on the way, Mandy. Thank you, everyone that's been watching, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Good night.